When you think of cute pets, chances are you're thinking of the sweet neighborhood dog or a feisty kitten. But some people like to set their sights a little higher, or at least a little more exotic. We can't all take in a jungle cat or a fuzzy little fox, but the people who do are more than ready to take on the cute little guys. From the surprisingly intelligent to the adorably small, there are exotic pets of every kind and skill set. They might not be for everyone, but they are adorable, especially as babies. There are hundreds of pets that look cute, but did you know that some experienced pet owners can keep them in their house? It's certainly not for everyone, but, well, it's not that far off. So, if you're looking to turn a few heads and melt a few hearts with your unusual animal friend, stay tuned as we count down our 25 picks for the cutest exotic animals you can actually own as pets.
Where's that other twin? You take a good care of your baby.
25. Pygmy marmoset. Starting, look at this little guy. If you're ready for a challenge, you can have your very own fingertip monkey. They don't need the wild to thrive. They're happy, affectionate, and sweet even in captivity. They have a picky diet and need a perfect amount of UV light to stay alive, but if you're willing to put in the work, they are rarely aggressive and you won't regret the new little friend. 24. Eggote. Maybe you're more of a fan of hamsters but want something a little cuter. The Eggote might be right up your alley. At most, they get to about 9 pounds, like a kitten or a rabbit, making them perfect for in-home training. They eat a little like squirrels, with their front paws, and they're prone to hiding extra food for later, so keep an eye out. This clever little guy might be able to get himself out of a cage though, be careful. 23. Asian palm civet. This nocturnal little guy is deemed pretty suitable as a pet according to the Wageningen University and Research Center. They're nocturnal, will pretty much eat anything but love fruits and berries, and are rather solitary, making them in the sort of medium effort branch of home pets. From a tiny cute little thing growing to about the size of a rabbit, they'll live close to 22 years in captivity. That sounds pretty comfy for such a little guy. 22. Wallaroo. The Wallaroo depends heavily on where you are, since they aren't legal everywhere. If you're ready for a bit of a challenge or are fully prepared for an advanced level of care, then this fuzzy little guy might be the one for you.
Hi! Scratch Dobby's belly off.
Just make sure you give this little guy plenty of space and lots of room to graze on some grass and shrubs, and you and your little Wallaroo are going to get along fabulously.
Run! Run! She's chasing you!
21. Chanterelle fennec. If you love cats and dogs but don't want to compromise between the two, then the fennec fox can provide you what you need with a fair bit of challenge thrown in. While they aren't friendly or cuddly, they can get comfortable with you over time, overriding their skittish nature. But they're as active and playful as any little dog, just with a bit of a twist.
Hey, bite me.
20. Binturong. If you're ever looking for a cute little teddy bear type pet, then try out a bear cat, or a Binturong as they're called. They also have a general small of hot buttered popcorn, which is weird but might be a selling point for some people. These good-natured little guys are sweet under the right conditions and relatively easy to care for. Maybe not a beginner pet, but one worth it if you're willing to put in the work. What about you? Would you be interested in an exotic petting zoo of sorts? If you had the opportunity to get close and personal with these critters without having to take them home, well, would you? Let us know below before we continue. Some people love them, some people don't, but almost no one can resist these sweet little guys. 19. Bush baby. Again, this one is heavily reliant on where you live because while they used to be kept as pets, they've gotten less popular and are illegal to import to the US. They're relatively sweet and non-confrontational, will eat anything from fruits and vegetables to crickets and worms. They're small enough to live in a giant birdcage with plenty of places to perch and climb. Careful though, they're clever enough that they will likely try to escape eventually. Keep an eye on this little guy. 18. Capibara. The capybara is the largest rodent globally, as large as a medium-sized dog and just as friendly. Don't let their super serious face confuse you, they're adorable. This semi-aquatic cross between a beaver and a guinea pig is a water pig in South America. How fitting. Chatty, friendly and fun, you'd be surprised just how charming this big guy can be in a group. Unlike a lot of the more skittish ones on this list, the capybara would love the attention. 17. Kawatimundi. Somewhere between a Kinkajou and a North American raccoon, the Kawati is a clever little guy that can be kept as a pet. High energy with a curious streak, if you're ready to adapt your household, this wild little buddy can be just as friendly as any house pet.
Don't nobody want you. Don't nobody want you.
It's kind of like having a permanent toddler in terms of behavior, just with sharp claws and teeth, and unique abilities to swim, climb, and cause trouble. A winning mix.
Okay. Whoa.
There, back away from there.
Okay. Oh my god.
16. Raccoon. If you want to go up one, the American raccoons are cute no matter how you slice it. This little bandit is always at the ready, with his opposable thumbs getting him in more trouble than you'd expect. Raccoons can open locks and remember complex puzzles for years after they find a solution. They're also one of the few animals known to use trial and error to solve a problem. If you have the time and patience, then domesticated raccoons can not only be house-trained but become very affectionate with time. If you live in one of the 16 states of America where it's legal, well, you might be in luck. 15. Cusimans. If you want something a little more exciting than any dog you'd find, how does a dwarf mongoose sound? The Cusimas is small, vaguely weasel-shaped with long snouts and short legs. While they have long claws, they can be trained relatively quickly and are known to make adorable, lovely pets. They are highly social, they love being around other animals, and want to dig a burrow to get comfortable. 14. Dicktick. This tiny little antelope will no doubt steal your heart, even if you can't have them as a pet. They're adorable but very skittish. They're often prey animals eaten by larger carnivores across the savannah. They're probably much smaller than your dog. They usually don't get much taller than about a foot or heavier than a maximum of 15 pounds. Chances are they can't fetch though. No attempts have been made to domesticate the Dicktick, despite how well they'd fit at a small apartment. Not only that, but they're illegal in quite a few states. We'll have to settle for a tiny Dicktick petting zoo for now. If you've made it this far, go ahead and drop a like down below so we know you enjoyed the video. If you want more of our unique, interesting, and sometimes wild content, then subscribe to the channel while you're down there and make sure to hit the notification bell while you're at it so you never miss a single upload. 13. Quacker. Have you ever heard the term happy as a wallaby? Well, maybe you should, or at least be as pleased as a quacker. The quacker is a tiny macropod about the size of an average domestic cat, but much more friendly and approachable if you ask me. They're accustomed to tourists with little to no fear of human contact. If you go to Rottnest Island, you're likely to have a friendly little quacker come up and pose for an adorable selfie with you. Unfortunately, as of 1987, they've been a protected species and can't be kept as pets or removed from Australia. but if you can make it down under, they'll be happy to have you. African Jungle Cat. The African Jungle Cat is just a little bigger than an average house cat and just as cute. More and more people have taken on these little guys over the years, making them popular exotic pets. They're so cute, we can totally see why. Be careful though, they might not be quite as friendly as your average tabby and tend to want to be alone a lot. If that sounds like a bonus, well, it might be nice to cohabitate with this cutie then.
A snake!
Yeah.
11. Zorilla. The striped polecat, or Zorilla, looks a little like a skunk, but almost like an alternate reality version of them. You'll find this little guy in dry climates like sub-Saharan Africa, and they can be pretty sweet. The Zorilla sprays just the same as its striped doppelganger in self-defense. So, kind of a stinky cutie. In fact, stinkier than their infamous pal. If you can get one without the stinky gland or raise it from a baby, you might have better luck. For now, maybe admiring from afar is the best idea. 10. Marbled Polecat. You might look at this little guy and think he's a ferret, but looks can be deceiving. While related, they're pretty divorced over the years, and the polecat hasn't quite had the same domestication. They're also actually much less social than their ferrety friend, so if you want just one pet, then the polecat would be much better. They do take a little bit more work, but if you're ready to put it in, they're so cute. What do you think? 9. Baby Lion Tamarin. If you're ready for a bright, friendly little buddy, Tamarins might be right up your alley. This cute little guy is active, intelligent, and friendly when socialized and cared for. Though not your average pet, they can be kept as pets. When they're babies, they're so cute and tiny, sometimes an average of just 2 ounces. Ringtail Cat. Known both as an affectionate pet and an effective mouser, the ringtail cat is very easy to tame. They were known as a miner's cat though. They're probably closer to a raccoon in that respect. They're cute, sweet, and the state mammal of Arizona, all of which makes them exciting pets if you were so inclined. They clean themselves like cats and are clever enough to be trained pretty quickly. Just look at this little guy's big eyes. Are you going to say no to a furry friend like that? 7. Prevost Squirrel. We all have little squirrels in our backyard, especially if you live where the temperature is warm and the abundance of trees. Lucky for you, these solitary creatures are known to be quite entertaining, with a great temperament. They're a bit bigger than a regular squirrel, a medium-sized squirrel overall, and perfect if you want a chattery, clever little pal to move around from. The funny thing is, while they are wild animals and would take some work to cohabitate with, they're one of the squirrels out there known not to bite. So maybe it's a sign. Six. Raccoon Dog. It's like this furry little guy couldn't decide whether he wanted to be a raccoon or a dog, so he did both. Native to Asia and introduced to Europe with dark bandit-like facial markings, like a raccoon but no ringed tail. They need a pretty varied diet, so be ready to provide some gourmet scraps for the family's newest addition. But if you're up to the challenge, they're protective and loyal, much like any other dog out there. Maybe a little jungle gym might suit them better than a doghouse though. 5. Kinkajou. If you're a bit more of a night owl, then a nocturnal pet might suit you pretty well. Luckily for you, the Kinkajou has the perfect remedy for that. They're occasionally kept as pets, and with a sweet face like that, are you shocked? If you're looking into a Kinkajou, you already know they aren't an easy pet. But if you're ready to try something a bit more impressive, a bit more clever and curious, well, maybe you can provide a little slice of the rainforest in your home for your new friend. The next 4 are downright amazing, and some pretty standard as far as exotic pets go. Let us know down below. Would you take in any of these little guys if you had the chance? What's the most exotic pet you've ever had? Some people are better off just watching videos, but would you want an exotic pet? We want to hear your thoughts in the comments. And without any further ado, let's continue. 4. Axolotl. This may be the closest we ever get to having a real-life Pokemon, and they even seem to love the companionship. It's a win-win. Even when being watched, these little guys seem to thrive under human care, bold and friendly in their tanks. They're not necessarily social, so you can comfortably have one. You can even mix them with fish in a larger environment if desired. They, like the Quacker, always look like they're smiling, and who doesn't want a happy little water friend? 3. Sugar Glider. You've probably seen a sugar glider, with its pouchy wings and soft markings. If you ever have an opportunity to hold one, they're quick to let you know when they're happy, known to perch upon their favorite humans, hiding at the nape of their neck or on top of their heads. Did you know, much like a happy cat, a content glider will purr softly. Not quite so loud, but sweet nonetheless. They might be a little high maintenance, but they fall in love with their human companions and bond quickly. Pouches exist in exotic pet stores for people to hold their sugar gliders close. I mean, I'd never want to let one go if I had the choice.
Where's that other twin? I'm taking such good care of your baby.
2. Alpaca. So you might not expect it, but the alpaca is known to be an almost perfect pet. Sweet, friendly, and easy to take care of as long as they were handled regularly when they're young, you might not expect quite their level of curiosity or generally friendly nature. The catch? Well, they get lonely. You should never have less than 3 because their loneliness may result in illness as they're herding animals. But if you're not ready to raise them on a farm, you can go to any petting zoo. As long as they're comfortable, they will happily tolerate the invasion of their space. Be careful though, they spit. 1. Albino Bat. Depending on your comfort level with rodents, chances are you aren't looking to house a bat in your home. That doesn't make this fuzzy little guy any less cute. As of May 10th, a white bat was spotted in San Remigio, Capitan, Samal, Davao del Norte as the first time it's been seen in the region. While yes, they can be kept as pets, they're specialized, highly complicated, and not for beginners. They can be tamed and trained, but that's not always what's best for these little guys. Unfortunately, unlike most animals, their lives in captivity are generally much shorter than in the wild, as they need to fly, need special nutrition, and are usually very difficult to keep up with. So maybe wait until you meet someone who has a trained one. Get a good pet in and let them go. Cute pets come in all shapes, sizes, and varieties, and people are always ready to open their homes to something cute and cuddly. Not everyone is suited for an exotic pet, but with enough getting ready and preparedness, then we could all have monkeys the size of our fingers or raccoon buddies who can do puzzles with us. Let us know what your favorite was down below, or if we missed out on something. If you want more unique, interesting, and sometimes wild content, go ahead and subscribe to Forever Green, and while at it, make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss a single video.